So we went from can they beat the Cavs just to win one game?
Well, isn't that about what it amounts to?
Right.
Yeah.
But we always talk about having parity and making it more competitive. If it's good for the game, I think parity is great if the teams are great when we have parity. If you look at Toronto 3-1, Cleveland, Milwaukee 3-1, I like Washington. Washington, they only played them 3 times this year. Washington won the last game. Bradley Beal, I think they have the components that give the Cavs problems. One, they have a big point guard in John Wall, who's matured so much in the last year or so. Bradley Beal is playing at another level. Markieff Morris, I think, Otto Porter, Gortat. So I think there are a couple of teams that can win a couple games against this Cavs team because their defense is just not where we're accustomed to seeing. Toronto can go in and win a couple games. Washington can, but I think the team that can push them maybe a little bit more, Washington can finish out the series, is that team. Scotty Brooks on the sidelines, the maturity of John Wall, the components they have as a team, the ability to go into Cleveland and win a game.
Right.
I think favors towards Washington, but it's just ironic that we're talking, can you at least win one game instead of taking them to 6 or 7?
Well, it's just the cakewalk we thought it was.
Stop it.
Right?
That is what you said earlier. Just a month ago, you talk about they're in trouble, and I told you they weren't.
They are, in and of themselves, they're in trouble.
No. I agree. I agree, Jack, because I think the thing what the Wizards have is that Wizards in Toronto is that they have 2 guys. Toronto has Lowry and DeRozan. The Wizards have Beal and Wall, and no other teams that's currently playing in the East have those components. You need 2 scorers, at least 2 guys that can go get you 20 on a nightly basis. Nobody else has that. Boston is a very favorable, for all these people, Boston is a very favorable matchup for the Cavs.
True.
Oh, yeah, that's 4-0.
Very, very favorable matchup. They just don't know it. Be careful what you wish for. Oh, we want Bron. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. I agree. I think the Wizards are the only team that can take 2 games off of them. But I don't believe anybody can take 4 games off of them. But the Wizards series is going to go 7 because Atlanta's going to win on home court and they're going to have to go back to D.C. The question is, how much will the Atlanta series and the Boston, because I believe the Rondo injury ended Chicago's chances of beating Boston. With Boston. So how much does a 7-game series take out of the Wizards in Atlanta and possible a 6 or 7-game series take out of them playing Boston?
So let me get this straight. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who finished out the season over the last 46 games, 23-23, a 500 basketball
500, that's all they were.
long
500.
time. And we just saw them mess around with the Pacers for 4 straight games. Now, they won all 4 of them, but they're all close games. And they all went to the bitter end for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So you can't say they were all that impressive, even though the final score is 4-0, right?
Coming back from 25
were they ever really dominating, impressive?
Yeah.
I mean, they were behind by 25 points at half after they gave up 74 points to the Indiana Pacers in the first half. Are you kidding me? But they roared back thanks to the Kang, right? And cost you a bet. But that's okay. That's a whole nother issue. So back to this issue. I keep watching Toronto against Milwaukee, and sometimes I'm pretty impressed with Toronto. And I'm impressed enough. I think they could win in the next round. If they get to the next round, they got to go win Milwaukee tonight or at least go home and win Game 7. But the last time they were in Milwaukee, they won 87-76. And I watched the whole thing, and I thought it was pretty impressive. But I think they could go win 2 games against Cleveland. They won 2 against Cleveland last year. Do you remember that? It was 2-2 when they went back to Cleveland. And then LeBron said, that's enough of this. And there were 2 wipeouts in a row, and it was over in 6 games. I could see a similar series this time because Toronto is better than Toronto was last year.
You think so?
Well, they added Serge Ibaka, and they added P.J. Tucker, and the only reason they went...
Norman Powell is playing well,
and
too.
Norman Powell is really playing well. He's like come out of nowhere as a 4-year player at UCLA. You know, you'd say, he can't do much, but he's averaging 13.5 points a game and making a lot of big shots.
But you remember last year, Biyombo had a series, and he got big dollars.
And he's out.
Yeah. But they went and got P.J. Tucker for one reason and one reason
Oh,
only.
don't you say it.
You know what it is.
What is it?
They just
for
want
his
him
shoe
to,
collection.
You know, they want him to beat on LeBron James.
He's a
for 6 or
sneakerhead.
7 games.
Got a nice shoe collection.
Nice
Got the Yeezys, got the calls.
But if anybody has an NBA body, P.J. Tucker has an NBA body. I'm not saying he can play offense, but he can just hammer on LeBron on defense. Just take something out of it.
Why you keep saying all these guys? Do you know what LeBron is Floyd Mayweather? They keep bringing these guys. They got Kevin Durant, 7 foot tall with a 7'6" wingspan.
LeBron's undefeated?
LeBron? Yeah.
They keep he's a LeBron stopper. Lance Stevenson is a LeBron stopper, really?
Wait, so LeBron's 7-0 in the NBA Finals?
No, I'm saying Kevin Durant. When you say these guys, you talk about a guy. You say P.J. Tucker. P.J. Tucker has a great shoe collection. Have you seen it? He got the Just Dons, the blue. He got the pink. He got the tans.
Yeah.
But Skip,
well, he might use one pair of those to kick LeBron's behind one night.
You know what the difference is, though? The issue is these games, even you talked about Indiana giving up points. Well, Indiana averaged 113 points against Cleveland during the regular season. The Toronto games were pretty close during the season, even the Milwaukee game. So this is not the same dominant Cleveland team, but the separation comes from, do you know how to win late game situations against LeBron? That's the issue.
Yeah.
And when you get into game 5, game 6, when it's on the line, LeBron has a way.
Well, don't put LeBron, put Kyrie.
But LeBron's mentality helped Kyrie get to this point.
Yeah.
It helped Kevin Love get to this point.
Because you remember, you remember Kyrie, before LeBron got back, Kyrie was in the lottery. They got Anthony Bennett, and then he followed that up with Andrew Wiggins.
Kevin Love went to Cleveland.
So this is what LeBron do. So in game 1, he starts swimming. Game 2. So by the time he get to game 4, guess where he's at, Skip? Way out there by the buoys. And then he said, you know what, we going to game 5. I'm going a little further in the deep.
Yep.
And then guess what, Skip? You see everybody here start bobbling up. Okay, I've had enough.
Yep.
And then game 6 is over.
You know, every once in a while I watch DeMar DeRozan, and I think he could just flat out drown LeBron out in deep water because he can play. He can play like a superstar on given nights.
Does he know? But do they know how to win and close out a series against a championship team? And that's the issue.
Yeah.
Jack,
that's the issue.
Jack, did you hear what this man just said?
I heard him.
He said DeMar DeRozan
can drown him.
Can drown the king.
Yeah, on any given night, he can just go off on people.
See, Black Sails is off, and right now he's searching. See,
Okay,
Black Sails is off.
Yeah.
See,
I have to watch. I don't have Black Sails. I have to watch the Toronto Raptors. Right?
Well, guess what?
That's all I got.
What come on Sunday or Monday?
Yeah.
I mean Monday. When you say
Monday.
Monday. You'll be able to see the king.